When I say that men need to be exposed to more examples of positive masculinity, this is what I'm talking about.
I've tried to raise them in a way that would give them the courage to ask a girl out, the grace to accept no for just accept no for an answer, and then the responsibility to make sure that either way she gets home safely.
I cannot tell you the number of times that a man has gotten legitimately angry with me for rejecting him, and it was never personal to begin with. And I can think of countless women who I know could say exactly the same. That's why women are scared of men. As a woman, this is what I wish all parents of boys would teach their sons. So thank you, Richard Reeves. No notes, except men. You guys should be taking notes.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of moving parts to this particular video, and I'm gonna try to dissect it, whereas I can kind of separate my thoughts on each kind of part. Well, let's start off with this. Let's address the guy, right? I think there was some good information about how he raised his boys. So the way I view this is there's there were boys who was raised with men who have fathers who can teach them this information on, how to approach women, what happened is if it's a rejection, right? And then overall you still, like, regardless on what happened, you make sure they get home safe. There's another aspect of boys who's raised without men, no uncles, no other men around them, and they just had to fend for themselves. And it seemed like a lot of those, which we'll tap into in a second, are the ones who not even in the game at all, who not even attempting to approach women anymore. They might have heard the stuff online, like, hey, I'm not even gonna attempt it, right? And then you had the boys who might have did attempt it, but then came back, but because they was raised with a single mother, they could have got some different type of information versus what they would have got from a man. So again, let's really unpack this, right? So the first part, boys who was raised with a man around them, right? Their father. So just like Richard said, hey, he want to raise them where first they learn how to approach a woman, right? And there's so many different ways depending on, culture, depending on the personality type, location, right? It's so many different factors on when you're approaching a woman. But at least they get in, from his experience, some type of way of approaching, right? That's cool. The second thing, if there's a rejection, how do you handle that, right? And that's a conversation. So let's say he told him, hey, man, yes, the son might have came to the dad, hey, I'm interested in this girl. Hey, how do I approach her? Right? He might have taught him how to approach her. And then let's say he rejected her. He he came back looking all sad, pout face, telling his dad's like, what happened? Well, hey, she told me no, or she rejected me. There's another conversation where the father can have to the son, like, all right, well, this is how you handle that, right? This is how you do it next time. And then the last part of that is, let's say he gets to the point where he approached her, she did not reject, she actually accepted his interaction with her, and they said he went on a date, it didn't maybe go so well, or hey, maybe it did. He's like, look, regardless on what happened, you still got to make sure she make it home safe, because that's just what a gentleman do, right? And I think, before I even go into the next parts, I think that when you look online and you see these dudes crashing out and they flying women out, they going on dates and it just like they feel like they was played. Listen, man, y'all got to get out of y'all emotions. It's just part of the game. But again, I always tell all these men out here, you got to work on yourself first, because then that's what you attract, the type of women that you want, versus you constantly chasing them. And when you chasing them, then you spending money on them unnecessarily. Listen, what's the saying? Listen, you can lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. You get what I'm saying? Be on your purpose first, man. Stop always trying to go out to, quote unquote, the baddies. And I think that's where y'all getting jammed up, and y'all start crashing out because y'all flying them out. Y'all ain't getting no cutty or whatever. You spending a crazy bag with them at Nobu. You taking them on trips, and it just ain't working out. You can't do that, man. And y'all getting y'all emotions about it, and it's just like y'all didn't learn. Nobody taught y'all. I get it. And so now y'all get emotion. Then it's like that's actually female traits, right? Getting all emotional. All right, but anyway, moving on to the second part, right? The guys who then wasn't raised with any man around them, any father figure, and so they like, look, I'm not even gonna approach. A lot of them on social media watching. right? A lot of them are watching on social media and they like, look, I'm not even getting in the dating game. I don't want to approach women. I'm scared of them. Um, I just want to kick it with the homies. I just want a video game, whatever, right? And I'm generalizing, but they don't even want to get in the game, and because they're hearing the talking points of women like, hey, don't approach me. Oh, guys are creeps. Hey, I'm scared of guys, and they like, wait, hey, that ain't me, but I don't want to be labeled, as that. Then you got like the Me Too movements and all that, so it's very tricky, right? It's very sensitive for them, and they like, look, I don't even want to participate, and so they don't. And so now women are probably missing out on, particular men that might have been good, but they never got the information on how to approach you, right? What you do when there's rejection, making sure they get home at night, whatever. And then you got the last part, which is, guys who was raised without a father or male figures around, and they was raised with their mom. And so she's like, well, hey, this is how you approach a young lady, right? All soft, bring them flowers. You got to do this, you got to do that. And then, when you get rejected, you can't be this way, you can't be that way. Or, hey, when you take them home. So it's like they're getting a whole different side from versus what a man would tell them how to approach. Because really, I don't want to discount like that none of it doesn't work from a female, but it's a different way that men speak to boys on how to approach women, right? Because it's just an innate thing. Like, what's a better way I can give an example? It's like a lion teaching another lion how to hunt. You know what I mean? Another male lion how to hunt. It's different from a female teaching him how to hunt. It's just certain things he gonna see. He's stronger in a sense. So the way that he can catch a kill is different from like speed. It may be based on strength. Lioness are really big on speed. They hunt in packs. And don't get me wrong, some lions do too, but a lot of lions hunt like kind of solo, to be honest with you. But they're really based on strength. They're not gonna be able to be chasing them down. They're gonna try to get a quick sprint and a kill versus a lioness can be out there, all day running around. So it's just a different way of approaching when it comes to attempting to, attract another, young lady or whatever. So, but again, I just thought this was an interesting take. Again, this is what my channel about, man. It's about bringing awareness to, ladies speaking out like this. And hey, we need more men to speak up. And let me before I close it out, let me get my take on it, right? I actually agree with Richard, man. I think that more young boys need male figures around them who actually are in successful relationships, who has successful dating relationships, and they can kind of at least give them a blueprint for how to approach women and things like that. I just think that it's been so many, women having kids without male figures around, and it's like, hey, y'all kind of raised them, and I'm not putting all the blame on them, but I'm saying they didn't get that part of the game from men as far as how to approach. So they learning out here in the wild, wild west. Y'all like, well, hey, why they not being gentlemen? Hey, why they not approaching us like this? Hey, why they being creeps? A lot of them never got that part of the game from males or from a father figure on, hey, man, if you get rejected, you can't be wild and out crashing out. You can't be all emotional, right? You can't be ready to fight her and, this and that. Again, and so nowadays, because they was raised around a lot of females, now they're emotional about it versus being stoic, right? Versus being, just standing on their square like, you know what, cool, it's more fish in the sea, like that mentality. They didn't get that. And so again, it's one of them situations where hopefully channels like mine can really shed light on helping men, get to that point where it's like, look, you don't got to crash out. What the first thing you need to do always is work on yourself, right? Get on your purpose, and then allow them women to be attracted to you versus you always constantly chasing. And I think that's been a problem. It's too many of us chasing like Jason out here. It's too many out here chasing, man. And what happens is, a lot of women don't value that. They like it. I'm not gonna sit here and say they don't like the chase, but a lot of them don't value that, and that's why a lot of these relationships are short lived. That's why you get men feeling like they're being used, right? Because they're chasing, man. You need to chase your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And then women will see that. Women see a man who on his grind. Women see a man who's taking care of himself. Women see your lifestyle without you even having to show it. And they come towards you, right? They attracted to you. And I'm not saying they all gold diggers, but the right one, you'll be able to discern really good on which ones, you know, who really sincere, right? Because they won't be all thirsty and stuff like that, right? And they just won't be trying to get at you just for a check. So you'll be able to discern more. You have more options as well versus you chasing out the, you know, 1 or 2, 10, 20 chicks, but it's not really an option. They just there. So, but anyway, hey, shout out to the content creator. I appreciate her, you know, giving her opinion and her insight, and, you know, sharing that message from Richard as well. Hey, what y'all think? You know, drop a comment below. Tell me what y'all think about the video, about, you know, my take on it. Also, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe as well. And also hit the notification bell, man. We're gonna keep running these videos like this up. And hey, I'm loving what's going on. So hey, tell me what y'all think again. I'll see y'all. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.